Equilibrium is an incentive-based system of cooperation that operates in recognition of the Universal Law of Civility, which states that one must never take of another without consent for any reason. The core of equilibrium is centered around the principle of universal law. The Universal Law of Civility should be the primary rule to adhere to in all relationships at all levels, including the relationship between governing bodies and the people. The Universal Law of Civility states that no one should ever take of another without their consent. This includes the taking of another's life, the taking of another's body without their permission, the taking of another's property, the taking of another's right to choose. The Universal Law of Civility is the law, and it is the only one. Equilibrium is a system that allows everyone to follow the universal law of not initiating aggression for any reason. Rules can be created as guides to assist everyone with upholding this universal principle under all circumstances. No individual or group has the right to come up with reasons to justify breaking the only law. All emotion and all speech are acceptable and tolerable. Nothing justifies the initiation of aggression and physical violation of another's consent. There must be eye for an eye consequences for all initiation of aggression and physical violations of consent. No one has the right to buy their way out of eye for an eye consequences. The knowledge that there will be eye for an eye consequences for all initiation of aggression and physical violations of consent is the ultimate crime deterrent, since a perpetrator will know in advance that what they do to another will be done to themselves. Whoever prevents eye for an eye consequences from being administered should be held accountable for creating and enforcing an environment of violence. Pain is the price and the ultimate crime deterrent. This consequence should be upheld in every case where there is undeniable proof of malicious intent. Upholding the law is a matter of integrity and is everyone's responsibility. Legislature is mob rule. The mob either takes action on behalf of someone or will not take action against you for something that you might do. However, law enforcement is never something that should be used by breakaway groups to morally condemn and profit off of others while they themselves go unjudged. Instead of breakaway groups forming and acting upon each other, we will all be on equal standing in upholding the law and providing law enforcement. We all understand the foundational concept of the law, to never initiate aggression for any reason, and with that knowledge we can each uphold and maintain the integrity of law in our local area. The only time physical force can be used against another is in response to the crime of initiating aggression and physically taking from another without consent. In order for eye for an eye consequences to be administered, there must be undeniable proof of malicious intent and then approval of action from a decision-making body of accountability. The task can first be offered to the victim or their family, otherwise anyone can then earn credit for completing the task of administering eye for an eye consequences, but it must be done in conjunction with another who bears witness and records the event to make it part of the public record. Incarceration should only be used when there is a continued threat of physical violence, and to prevent physical violence, once eye for an eye consequences are administered, everyone is free to go on their way. All other rules that are broken and crimes committed have consequences that can be rendered simply through identification. Law enforcement in all nonviolent cases can be as simple as taking a picture and properly identifying someone. There is no need to arrest or incarcerate nonviolent offenders. Through identification, their virtual accounts can be affected as a consequence, or in some cases, their incentive percentage rates can be affected for a period of time. Incentive rates can be increased or decreased to produce desired effects in society. The knowledge that eye for an eye consequences are being used will put an end to most violent crime immediately. There should be no statute of limitations for violations of the law, although a one-time compromise can be made in the special event of switching over to a system with eye for an eye consequences. You can say that from this day forth, eye for an eye consequences will be used for all initiation of aggression and physical violation of consent, no statute of limitations. Whether we initiate aggression and physically violate another's consent is the primary condition upon which all souls are judged. Those who do not meet justice in this world will face consequences in the next world and know that eye for an eye consequences is a compromise. To initiate aggression against others is to take steps down the path that leads away from humanity. There is no homelessness and no eviction in this system. All citizens start out with access to a level 1 room from birth. Children have equal housing rights as adults and can claim or move their room when they choose. Any unoccupied room at one's room level can be claimed simply by logging into the room. All keys and accounts can be accessed with unintrusive biometrics such as a hand scan. Nothing ever needs to be implanted in or under the skin. This is an abundance-based system, and in such a system, not every piece of fruit needs to be measured. This is a cooperative system of collaboration, and so the people are not separate and feared. If another level of security is needed, a hand scan along with a face scan could work. You could add a password or a physical key for another layer of security. There are two types of rooms: utility and residential. Utility rooms can be used to create restaurants, shops, churches, classrooms, game rooms, and so on, and can be shared through a mapping and scheduling program. For example, you could run a kitchen for a few months, or maybe just a few days, earn extra credit for a time, and then another chef in the queue will run the kitchen with their menu for a few months, etc. If you have something to teach, just log into a utility classroom and you are free to teach or pray, or do whatever you like without violating another's consent. The only stipulation on any class one may host is that in this system, all activities including any form of influence or education is voluntary, and even children have the right to stand up and leave any room or any class in progress at their discretion. Public schooling can give way to voluntary open-access classrooms for various subjects, while the majority of our education should come in the form of at-home self-paced education modules. The matters of the individual's heart are far more important than all of the commands and all of the indoctrination and all of the time taken without our consent. Our time is a gift and should never be taken for free by anyone without our consent, no matter what age we are. Public schooling without consent is nothing more than training individuals to bow to authority. All utility rooms are accessible to all civilians that take official self-paced training courses and, if required, mentorship courses without any further vetting of their profile. This means that everyone has the right to access all shared resource tools, including the structures. This is specifically to end corruption. Our collective works which propose to serve and protect us will always do so when we all take part and participate in our shared services and resources. All rooms must be mapped and cleared. Residential rooms cannot be accessed while occupied, so there may have to be a compromise to stop corruption there, including incentives for allowing new life to connect directly to the system of accountability and dire consequences for taking advantage of new lives. In a functional system with all of our needs being met, most would not risk their lives to take advantage of others. Other compromises can include individuals allowing their room to be mapped and cleared while they still occupy the space. Otherwise, a room might be mapped but not cleared until the occupant decides to move out. Whenever we move out of a residence or after we log out of a utility station or structure, we are left a caretaker grade by the next person who logs into the station or structure. All grades that might negatively affect our account can be put up for immediate review if you dispute the claim. One can always seek further counsel by having new groups offer their opinion on the outcome. All citizens start out with a Level 1 room account which can be upgraded in various ways over time. One citizen can purchase multiple room accounts and in that way can own all of the rooms within a structure. Level 1 residence rooms are 100 square feet and would cost $100 per month. Level 2 rooms are 200 square feet and cost $200 per month. Level 3 rooms are 300 square feet and cost $300 per month, and so on. In many cases, the production capabilities of the structure itself equals or exceeds the room level cost per month. Anyone without a room can walk into and claim any unoccupied Level 1 room without question. The cost of Level 1 rooms can never increase. The payment for our rooms is automatic and comes from our passive income account. All citizens start out with a Level 1 passive income account of 100 credits per month, which offsets the 100 credit cost of a Level 1 room. Having the cost of our Level 1 room account taken care of by our initial Level 1 passive income account is a solid foundation for all citizens to then reach higher levels within the system. The very first level of residual income that can be attained after Level 1 would likely cover basic food costs. We would likely have that achieved while still living with our parents, as we would have these accounts from birth and can begin leveling them up right away. Rent and taxation are combined into a single participatory measurement called a contribution. This measurement grants access to various resources, and these resources can never be taken away since they are covered automatically in a citizen's passive income. For example, if a citizen has reached a passive income level of $1,000 per month, they can purchase a level 10 room account, which costs $1,000 per month. They can now never be told to leave their room for any reason. They can now continue to level up their passive income so they have extra residual credit remaining each month. In this system, there is no such thing as welfare. Each individual starts off with a residual income account that they can level up early in life and use it to retire when their passive income has reached a comfortable level. Useless work is discarded, and our contributions can be measured with very simple at-home production of mostly natural goods. You can create a garden of anything along with requests from the local job mapping application and be credited for turning in excess surplus to a nearby collection and distribution center. And so one of our primary sources of income in this system can be as simple as tending to an in-home garden. With advancements in technology, this may be as simple as tending to a few buttons. This system uses a resource-backed currency instead of fiat, which is printed into the air and backed by nothing, creating an eventual devaluation in the currency when it is overprinted. A resource-backed currency seeks to find an invariable standard rate and value of 1. In other words, the currency is a measurement system, 1 equals 1, and the valuation of the currency does not change. It is a measurement system rather than an arbitrary fluctuating valuation system that can be gamed. The valuation of the currency is a measurement, and it does not change. Products and services are valued on a formula of supply and demand. Currency is created when excess surplus is turned into nearby distribution centers for credit. The amount of currency in the system can have a direct correlation to the amount of goods produced. The credit remains in circulation in the system until it is used periodically for the purchase of collective works. Once the currency is used to purchase collective works, the currency disappears. Collective works are chosen through a means of collaborative decision-making. Collection and distribution centers are at the center of the wheel of commerce and will make everything anyone needs available in one location. There can be larger and smaller distribution centers. Everything can be turned into collection and distribution centers for credit, including all forms of currency and even litter. An app can tell the value of things before they are turned in and exchanged for physical or virtual credit. We can still use all forms of currency, although we have the option to trade it directly at a distribution center for the invariable standard rate of credits. You can tell it how much your currency is worth from your money valuation fluctuation trading system, because it does not matter how much of it anyone has. In this type of system, no amount of currency can be used against another, and likewise, you can survive without the currency. There is no such thing as debt to another. It does not matter how many fiats you have collected. Everyone has a direct relationship with a collaborative system of accountability, and if anyone places their hands on anyone for any reason, there are severe consequences. No one has the right to initiate aggression and physically violate another's consent for any reason, which includes kicking people out of their homes and preventing them from becoming self-sustaining with the help of new practices and technologies. These centers become the foundation for a new type of working self-sustaining community. New jobs and job types can now become available, including jobs we give each other and jobs requested by the central local decision-making process that all citizens can participate in. Some jobs are ongoing, while some jobs come and go. We can select to receive requests in various fields, and we can fill many ongoing positions at once if we choose. Instead of doing the same job every day, we can fill our schedule with many different ongoing jobs or none at all. We can select to receive only certain temporary jobs as they arise local to our environment through alerts. There are many ways we can shape our schedules around our lives to best suit the individual. Just by being a participant in this system, we can be sent various jobs based upon our location and our expertise. There will not be the need to fill out multiple applications for every little thing. Our online avatar will store all of our merit levels in each job type, and when a job request at our level or under becomes available, we are alerted. A map program can work in conjunction with voting programs to give all citizens access to the information needed to be productive in their local environment. Through this mapping program, available tasks can be listed along with any other type of information from available rooms to votes in progress. All changes to our shared environment should be up for vote through a means of collaborative decision-making. This topical voting process should be used intentionally to find harmony in all areas and allow new areas to become developed with the central understanding of creating communities that uphold the non-aggression principle under all circumstances. Things don't have to be the same everywhere and can be very different elsewhere. We might from here progress in different directions into the stars. We must know that our influence was that of upholding the one universal law of all civilized and sentient beings, and we will know that we will have peace in the future should we meet again with our shared understanding of the core principles of civility. All citizens take on all roles in this system. Instructions are provided for common events, and citizens can be given credit for completing tasks locally. In this system, we are all the decision makers. We all provide law enforcement. We are all teachers. We all provide healthcare with the aid of advanced in-home technologies, local emergency rooms, and guidance from higher-level doctors who can earn credit for watching over remote procedures. We all can participate in public information dissemination or journalism. We are all gardeners, landscapers, architects, and so on. We will also be the caregivers and caretakers. This system encourages each individual to level up in multiple fields at once, and to earn credit in those various fields as jobs arise local to their environment. Through self-paced educational courses, on-site mentorship, and job completion experience, an individual can reach higher levels in various fields simultaneously throughout the day. We would then have a merit level for all fields that we participate in. Merit is a trustworthiness rating earned over time by completing jobs or from customer reviews or as a quality grade for our produced goods. And level is a measurement of expertise earned through education and experience. So for example, a very polite but clumsy apprentice might have a landscaper rating of 99.2. If the merit is percentage-based, their rating is 99%, and their level in landscaping based on education and completed jobs is 2. Then, for example, there is a very grumpy machinist who is legendary for repairs but who is always grumpy. Their rating might be 10,9000. With a similar rating system and a leveling system with achievable goals that anyone can reach simply through participating local to their environment, people can be credited for their local contributions while reaching higher levels and achievements in various fields. We can take on many roles at once by following task-specific instructions as those tasks become available local to our environment. Helping to shape our world by giving our opinions and being heard should be a fun process that we are always welcome to participate in. Through topical voting with an approval rate percentage, we can allow our aesthetic ideas to compete to find the best design or preferred course of action. People should be free to leave anywhere at any time without hassle if they choose to create a different design or take another course of action, or simply to create different aesthetic designs in different places. We can use topical voting sequences to shape our environments and break off down our own unique paths while maintaining the core universal principles of civility. We should be able to provide a feedback loop for all things that we encounter in the environment. Through a rating and flag system, we can give our opinions by providing a rating, and we can identify areas that require attention by issuing a flag. The color of the flag determines its intensity or urgency. If you saw a safety hazard, you can get credit for giving it a red flag, then you can get more credit for resolving the issue. This system does not fear the people but instead allows them to participate in shaping the world and building their own custom communities. Everyone has a voice and everyone can participate in an all-inclusive idea, sharing and decision-making voting process where we can share our opinions and ideas. We can be given credit to participate in the decision-making process. Other people always claim to know what's best for you, but usually the only thing they offer is their self-gratification through the issuing of commands. Try to create a system that allows people to live their entire lives without being issued a single command. Instead, allow them to integrate and work with a collaborative community. Instructions for all processes are provided, and so no one ever has to be barking orders or issuing commands. Each individual has a direct relationship with the system through their local distribution center where they can exchange most of their goods. All of us can contribute what we can directly to the system by producing actual value in the form of excess surplus. This can be done usually through advanced gardening. Imagine strong structures that integrate into the local ecosystem and create a mutually beneficial process for all life there. This should be our focus instead of fighting in the streets. We can have annual competitions to create improvements to the biochain formulas of sustainability that we use, like collecting rainwater on the roof that is used by the fish that are used to fertilize the kelp, which is used to fertilize the soil, and so on. There are so many things you could be doing and creating at all times to improve the quality of life for all life. You can create healthy communities that produce positive long-term effects. These communities produce abundance from every room of every structure through advancements in local gardening and local production of excess goods. There are so many things we can be doing each moment for the mutual benefit of all life in the world that there is no excuse Turn litter into fertilizer. Create biochain formulas that course through the walls of the structure and feed the outer world. Change the relationship with citizens so they can be productive in their local environment and recognize their contributions. Our primary role is that of caretaker. We are the caretakers of the land, the structures, and each other. This is a system in which we may respect the sacred in one another. All consciousness is God consciousness expressing itself through infinite forms. The point of our existence is not our usefulness to others, but rather as a house for the God consciousness. Instead of a dog-eat-dog world orchestrated by beneficiaries, each individual has a direct relationship with an open-source system of collaboration and accountability. Equilibrium is a recession-proof system that uses a resource-backed currency and produces abundance for all.